Hello, hello. If you're watching us already, just give me a second until all the buttons are being pushed and everything is appearing. And it's not, or is it? Yes, it is. Amazing. Welcome, welcome everyone. I'm Isaiah, and we are now live all over the place, hopefully. I'm Isaiah, and I am hosting the Women Lighting the Way Summit. And it starts tomorrow. I couldn't be more excited and exhausted, but that's life. And ramping up to the summit, I've been talking with the speakers of said summit. And asking them weird questions about their stories and their lives. Hey, Shelley, today
Hi.
you are my guinea pig.
That's okay.
So let me remind people watching this first and foremost that the summit is not happening on social media. You can't watch the summit on YouTube. You cannot watch it on Facebook or anywhere else. You can only watch it on a special platform where you need a ticket for it. And this ticket is free. So go and get it and come and listen to the stories of 25 incredible women, if I say so myself, being one of those incredible women. And we are sharing our stories because we believe that the world needs more women's stories, more feminine ways of dealing with the world and the crap that happens in the world, and that we need to have to create a resource of a library of stories. And so we are adding our little stone to the big library of stories. I'm obviously not the only one to do that in the world, but I'm one of the people who does that. In the summit, you will have 25 talks by 25 incredible women, as I was saying, plus access to freebies, giveaways, you name it, and 3 live panels. These 3 live panels happen in the evening, European time, and we are chatting with the speakers, with 10 of them at every time, which might become noisy, but we know. And we are talking stories. How does the summit unfold? How is it for each of us to write the stories, to record the stories, and what did we think of each other's stories? Because you see, we had a sneak peek, and we've been watching quite a lot of them. So all of this you can have access to with your free ticket. If you want to buy a paying ticket, you can also support Kiva and the Women Lighting the Way team, aka This Minute Me, and help us cover the cost of the platform, and then donate to Kiva, which is a microcredit organism. And we support women in underserved communities as well. So we light the way over there as well. Voila. You get perks if you buy the amazing paying ticket. You get access to 4 of our alumna's little treasures, and you get a year's worth of replay. I forgot to say that your free ticket gives you access to 1 week of replay because these stories need time. It's not about ingesting 25 stories in 3 days. It's about breathing. You might also need some time because some of these stories are triggering. They deal with difficult stuff. They deal with authentic, real, raw, sometimes vulnerable stuff that obviously might take some time, might need some time. So that's why we offer you 1 week of free replay. Enough with the promotion. You can join us with the QR code that is above or the link that is below and come and play with us. It's going to be fun. Shelley, darling. So, as for every speaker, you have a general topic in the even more broad topic of stories. Your topic, and let me remind everyone that I just shuffled the topics. I did not choose them for each speaker. And Shelley was brave enough, just like so many of the speakers, because recording your story is brave. And she didn't want to know the topic. So at this minute, she's been very brave, not interrupting me, and she doesn't know her topic. Your topic, darling, is failure and learning. big one, is it?
Yeah.
More stories. And so there are two questions. One question is a more deep and profound one, and the other one is a lighter one. So we'll start with a deep one so that, we'll finish on a more lighter note. So, what failure in your life might have secretly turned into one of your greatest teachers?
Every single one of my
Good answer.
every
Good answer.
single one. The older I get, the more I realize we can't get it wrong. That everything has a rhyme and a reason, and I don't feel like being Pollyanna-ish about this, because sometimes, failures bring up a shadow, and it's walking through those shadows and seeing, okay, that didn't go the way I wanted it to go
Mm,
or what I expected it to go. But and it takes a while to process failure, right?
mm,
So it's not like a knowing, right? And oh well, that didn't go well. I'm just going to go do something else. Sometimes it'll go right. This was the lesson, and it might take a long time to figure
mm.
out what your lesson was through the failure, alleged
Agreed.
failure,
Yeah.
alleged failure. So yeah. There have been, like let's say, a failed marriage,
Mm,
okay, was really a failure.
mm,
Okay, was it a power partnership? Was it really a failure? What were the takeaways
mm.
from those life lessons? So
Yeah.
anyway,
Also, what happened before it became a failure, a so-called failure?
what led
Because
to it?
yeah, no, I mean, in the marriage, sometimes you have a very lovely time for the first 2 months, and then it becomes shit, or the first 2 years, or for the first 20 years,
Oh,
and then
yeah,
it turns, and I very strongly believe that there is a mistake there in us, crossing out the whole 20 years
exactly.
because the last 2 years have been shit.
And
Um,
also, I think this is, this is women lighting the way, and this is a term that women use. Men don't go, "I had a failed marriage." I've never heard one man ever say, "I had a failed," what things like that. And
yeah.
so, yeah, and people, you're doing your work, you're doing your life, you're having your experiences, and you're partnered with somebody who's doing the same, and then all of a sudden, one of you or both of you are kind of going in a different direction.
Yeah.
And that's not a failure. That's just evolution.
Now, I would go further to say that failure is the thing with failure is it only happens if we agree that something is finished. If I'm still going at it, whatever it is, then I'm not failing. I can't have failed if I'm still keep trying. So depending on what it is, if we're talking about spiritual
Right.
evolution or personal development, I can't be a failure because I'm still alive and still,
Yeah.
evolving. So
And that's brilliant. That's brilliant because I'm a painter, an artist. And when I have a painting and I get to a place where I'm stuck, and it might sit leaning up against the wall for over a year, and I don't like it. And so, do I lump that in the failure category? No, it's just not finished. I'll pull it back out, and then I'll have an
yeah,
epiphany of what it needs or desires, or especially if it's a portrait of a face. And the face will call to me, "Are you going to leave my eyes like this?"
I love that.
So,
Yeah.
not a failure, just a continuance at a later time.
Yeah. My mother, who is a painter as well, she's a watercolorist, so she paints on paper. Has recently, she's 82, just so you know, and she will die with a brush in her hand, I believe. And she recently decided that she was going to get rid of all her failed paintings.
Oh,
And what did she do? She cut them in pieces and did collage.
yes,
And now she has new paintings.
yes,
So it's like nothing ever is failed forever. Whether
no,
you go back to it, like you said, and change the eyes of that character in the portrait, or whether you decide to paint a whole white board on it and then paint again something completely different, then the canvas has a new life, or
yeah.
tear it to pieces and do a collage with it.
Beautiful. And it's like energy. It can't be destroyed. It can
Yeah,
just change form.
yeah. And it's only a failure if we agree that it is, I think.
Yes.
Thank you. Very off-topic conversation, but really interesting. Let me go for the the funnier or lighter question, which is, if failure had a wardrobe, what outfit would it show up in?
Oh, immediately my muse flashes before me, my little girl muse.
Oh,
Uh,
you have a little girl muse. I love it.
yes, and this little girl in the 1960s wanted to wear bright green with white stripes bell bottoms. And then she wanted to put on like a flowered top or polka dots. And I was too little to be a hippie at that point, but I was seeing images and stuff, and I wanted it all. I wanted the stripes and the polka dots and the contrasting colors that didn't go together. Um, and that's what my muse wanted. And that wasn't wrong. That wasn't a failure. That was just her choice. She wanted this and this and this and all at the same time.
Yeah, no failure there, but
No,
still, it rings this bell of being judged, I'm guessing.
well, yes. So side by side, that happy little muse is the critic, right? The inner critic. And actually, the inner critic came from somebody, evolved, I should say,
Mm.
from parental input or societal input about what was a failure in my wardrobe.
Yeah, what was permitted and what was not, what was
Yeah,
coherent, or I don't
yeah,
know how you say that in English. I was looking for a word that means accepted or acceptable.
yeah,
Um,
acceptable.
and
Yeah,
and
appropriate,
with
appropriate for a young lady.
appropriate, that's what I was looking for. Thank you. Sorry. Let me
No,
remind once again, everyone, that English is my third language, so sometimes I miss some words. Uh, I think it's really interesting, though, that, with our age, because I think we're of similar generation, um, we've been through so many fashions, so many changes in fashion, that
no.
things that were supposed to be completely inappropriate or not nice or not good are now completely in fashion.
Mhm.
And I personally see that there is a cycle to it. So we kind of go back round to the same things.
Yeah,
um, and it's like something that would have been a failure 20 years ago is now,
right.
let's say, ripped jeans. In
Yeah,
the 80s, when I grew up, ripped jeans were a no-go. Like, meant like you were poor, like you had no,
yeah,
it wasn't a good idea. uh,
yeah.
Fast forward 20 years, and it's the girls are actually cutting their blue jeans with scissors.
And hair length. In
Yeah.
the Western society, I remember articles from about 30 years ago where if you were a mature woman, as we are, you did not have long hair. You were domestic, and
Absolutely.
that was not
Absolutely.
appropriate. Yeah,
Absolutely. This is thank you for reminding me of that one, because I recently decided, because I've been listening to this song called "I Am My Mother's Savage Daughter," which I
love
really
it,
like,
love it.
and I decided to not cut my hair anymore. That's why it
Right.
looks a little crazy, but it was literally that. It was, who the heck decided that because I'm 58, I should
Yes,
now have appropriate hair, which is shortcut,
yes,
No,
yes.
let me have the crazy witch hair, because my hair is going to go crazy. There's no way, every time it's long, it goes in all directions. And
I
I
love
might even, paint it blue at some point,
it.
dye blue if I feel like it, or green, because there is no freaking appropriate and there is no failing again. Um,
Yes, yeah, and I think a lot of that is also tied to the collective witch wounds.
yeah,
We don't want to be too bright. We don't want to shine. We don't want to be too wise,
yeah,
um,
too
or we're
visible.
exactly too visible, or we're going to get called out for being too bright. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
But the appropriate thing is literally how to become invisible, right? So you
yeah,
are,
and
if I
quiet.
don't cut my hair and I have quiet and invisible, means safe,
Yeah,
supposedly. That's
yes,
obviously a wound, and that's obviously something we are kicking in the nuts, if it had nuts, in here at Women Lighting the Way,
I love you.
deciding to become fully visible
Yeah,
and fully own our stories. Um,
yes, and it's visible and audible. That's the other
yeah,
part.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, to
Yeah, I
have that
think,
voice.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of women in the summit who talk about voice and the power of the voice, and I'm really, being a singer myself, I can really see and understand how this has been taken away from us, the
Yeah.
singing. Even I did, completely off topic, but we're chatting. Um, I did a gospel singing course last week or 2 weeks ago, and it was impressive how many women in there, for beginners, basically, for people who are not singers. And so most of them did not know which height they could sing. And the teacher, most of the women send them back, she sent them back to a lower part, saying, no, you don't have that high pitched voice. You have
Mm,
been brought to believe that women equals high pitched, but no, you don't actually. It's
yeah.
painful for your throat, for your vocal cords, and it's not nice. It doesn't sound beautiful. If you go and sing mezzo soprano or even alto, it will be easier, it will be more beautiful.
And
So
yeah,
again, and this high pitched voice has no volume. When it's not your natural voice, it has no volume. So literally, they were hurting themselves trying to sing something that is impossible for them, is not nice, and literally has no power.
it's a good analogy for
Mm.
how we have been screaming to be heard
Yeah,
as women.
that we've been screaming
Yes.
too high pitched,
Yep.
because we've been led to believe that female equals gracile, thin and skinny, high pitched.
Yep.
This
Yep. Yep.
idea of a woman, which is basically a young girl, to my opinion, and not a
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's
Love.
there's so much to do and discuss about the voice, and thanks for reminding me of that, because I actually wanted to write an article about that. So thank you. No connection to the summit, although
Thank you for this opportunity. It's been delightful.
thank you very much for talking with me. Thank you to anyone who listened to it. And if you want more of Shelley and more of me and more of 23 other amazing teachers and speakers, come and join us. We begin tomorrow, 11 a.m. Paris time. You do your time zone. I can't right now, but the website will do your time zone. So,
Yes.
because I can't, but the tech will. I've settled everything to function. It should be. Thank you so much to everyone. I will talk to you soon. And Shelley, I will see you into the live panels now.
Peace
Bye.
and
Don't move. I'm just going to push some buttons, but I'll
peace
be
and
there.